There's my Yeti. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Ned Finn. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Playing Doom today. It's Valentine's Day. Day of Love. I love Doom Eternal, so that's what I'm doing. And we're going to sit through the intro, because it kicks ass. It is real good. If it loads up. Which it should. It's loading from an SSD. But, you know. Oh. There we go. I confused the game. That's my bad.
All the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you. Rip and tear until it is done.
I was about to say I don't think I've ever played any of the Doom, either of the Doom games, the modern Doom games, on channel, but that's definitely not true. My inaugural and only episode of a series of videos that I originally did with the intention of sharing gaming with my brother from across the country was Doom 2016. So. Good stuff. Hey, if I'm lucky, I might actually be able to, because he and his wife are going to be in town this Saturday. And if I'm lucky, I might be able to rope him into co-hosting a stream with me, and that would be fun. You know, here I am without any kind of water. Yeah, Doomslayer, the Slayer's Mark. Got that as my freaking second tattoo. It's upside down, but you see it. It's good stuff. I need to get tattoo number 3 at some point. I've been itching for that for a while. It's just a matter of, you know. Tattoos are not cheap. God, this game's soundtrack rips ass. Absolutely slaps. And I am going to turn off tutorials, because I know how to play this game. Tutorials off. Yes. In-game tips. Off. Player can activate Sentinel armor. Ultra Nightmare or Extra Life mode. Well, that makes a certain amount of sense. Empower demons. Spawn during your campaign. Yes. So for a bit of context, I suppose. Yo, game, are you like unusually quiet? Mixer. You are. Hello. Let's bump that up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. You know, funnily enough, I am going to probably turn it down in my headphones a little bit. And actually, I'm going to just turn it down in general, but... Oh, yeah. Gotta glory kill him. So I remember when Doom 2016 came out, and there's a lot of really positive hype around it, a lot of good buzz. And I was like, all right, I'll give this a shot, and I loved it. I thought Doom 2016 was a terrific game. Played the heck out of it. I was a serious evangelist for it. To anyone who would listen, I was like, you gotta try Doom Eternal. It's so... Or you gotta try the new Doom. It's so good. It is like the new high bar for modern shooters. And so obviously, like, I wanted to play... I was so hyped for Doom Eternal. I wanted to get my hands on it so bad it hurt, and like there were delays and stuff, and I was like, ugh, this is terrible stuff. And finally came out in, I think it was March of 2020. Must have been relatively early in 2020 because I was still living in Fayetteville at the time. That was before I'd moved to Raleigh. And this is gonna... I'll fully admit, this is gonna be a bad day for me keeping up with chat. This is gonna be a good day for me talking. Because so much of this is... kind of... not super mindful reflexes, more so than it is like, no, I gotta think about 1,000,001 decisions I'm making. It's much more split second. Granted. Yeah, so Doom Eternal comes out at long last. And it comes out the same day as Animal Crossing comes out for the Switch. And I'm like, man, you know, like I know that a lot of positive things have been said about the previous Animal Crossing games. It sounds like my kind of thing. I've got a Switch now, so I could actually play an Animal Crossing game. But man, like, there's no question. I gotta play. It's got to be Doom Eternal, and I did not regret my my decision. Incidentally, I was still at the time gaming on my very reliable old GTX, not RTX, GTX 970. And it ran fine. I ran it on medium settings. It looked great. It ran buttery smooth. I think overall Doom Eternal is better optimized than Doom 2016. Like, there are spots in... did I say Doom 2017? Because if I did, I definitely meant Doom 2016. There are still some spots where Doom 2016 gets laggy, and I really do think it's just a software issue more than anything else. You know, it's so funny. I absolutely would swear by the triple shot, the burst shot, for the shotgun in Doom 2016. I never got much use out of, like, the explosive shot, but in Eternal, sticky bomb all the way. It's also worth mentioning that I have since pretty meaningfully upgraded my my rig. I did a big old upgrade a while back. That started off as me just wanting to replace my graphics card, and then it wasn't working with the system, and I was like, well, maybe it's just a power supply issue. That seemed to be the consensus from a lot of the research that I had done. So I got a new power supply, got that installed. I had that installed because I wasn't... Cable management in my old case was a nightmare and a half. So yeah, I went and got that installed by the good folks of Best Buy's Geek Squad. Got it home, turned it back on, still wasn't working. It turns out that it was just, you know, the... It was probably an issue with just the age of the CPU more than anything else. Or, yeah, the CPU, but a replacement of the CPU would necessitate a replacement of the RAM and the motherboard as well. Those were all kind of bound together, whether I liked it or not. Hello, Mr. Zombie. So... basically upgraded all the hardware except for the hard drives, which I eventually swapped out for a 2 terabyte SSD anyway. One of them fancy NVMe M.2 form factor drives, which has been a real dream. Believe you me. Computer turns on and is like ready to go in about as much time as it takes for the screens to turn on, which I'm a big fan of. But then last... No! 2 Christmases ago now, I suppose. Or was... No. It was last June. It was my birthday. Yeah, it was my birthday. I swapped out the graphics card. I'd originally upgraded to a 1660 Super, which I was very happy with, incidentally. It was a very stout little card. But then I upgraded to a 3060 Ti, and that's a stout little beast. It's pretty handily handle just about anything I can throw at it. I think the only thing that's really posed any kind of even slight challenge is like Elden Ring, and still Elden Ring runs just fine on like the highest high settings you could want. And this is running on Ultra Nightmare, so it's Ultra Nightmare with ray tracing, I might add, which I don't think adds like that much, but it's cool that I can do it. Well, I tell a lie, because, well, the game runs Cyberpunk just fine. I honestly think that's more of a processor bottleneck than anything else. I've got, some kind of 10th gen i5 in here. I honestly do not remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's Core i7 10400, 10 something or other, 10300. Off the top of my head, I am not sure. I honestly think it's the cooler that's the issue more than anything else. Because it's still using one of those... it's using the same low-profile stock cooler that the processor came with. And I've installed coolers. I've built from the ground up 2 PCs at this point. One using a bunch of leftover hardware from my old PC. Which, in terms of the cost of new bits, that ended up being like a $200 build. And then I built my my partner, then girlfriend, now fiance, soon to be wife. I built her a PC as well that ended up has just kind of become our dedicated like living room console at this point. And that ended up being about a $600 build, which, my goodness, I mean, between just the way that hardware has upgraded in the past, you know, the intervening years, to get the kind of like very decent package, you know, it's a 10th, I think it's a 10th gen. i3 processor, so not like an absolute workhorse of a processor, but solid. Certainly capable of handling a fair amount that's thrown at it. 1660 Super. That PC inherited my old 1660 Super.
Is a necessary step on the path to a brighter tomorrow.
Oh geez. Hello. This is where I always end up fucking dying, but I'm not gonna do it this time.
Humanity can now reach its
Ooh, jeez.
Ah, see, this is... I just said this is where I always die. God damn it. Shishki kablishki. It's that frickin' Arachnotron in a tight space is the issue. And just losing stupid health to these fucking fireballs. I mean, that's what killed me. It was one of the ding-dang fireballs. But yeah, 1660 Super with a decent little processor in it. A single channel stick, a 16 gig RAM. Like a very respectable little like mid-range gaming PC in a nice little package as well. It's in a little compact case, so I got to use a what's the form factor? The smaller sort of motherboard that's not like super small. Can I go through here? I sure can. Will this take me into the hallway, though? No. See, this is the issue. I've run out of ammo now. I cannot go through there. And I do not have my dash yet. There we go. A little bit of health there. Medkit. Tasty. And I'm back. And I still need to deal with that Arachnotron, though. Alright, one hairy section won't hurt anything. Anyway, the point is that I would have absolutely killed for a PC like that back in the day. Like, I spent about 1,000, 1,200, something like that, on my original PC, and that thing had 16 gigs of RAM, a Intel Core i7 4770K, so 4th gen Intel. I think it was a hybrid drive. It had like a... No, I don't think it was a hybrid drive. I think it was just a typical mechanical drive, I suppose. You know, the PC that I built for my partner would absolutely wipe the floor with it these days. And part of that is just hardware's gotten a lot better. It also speaks to the upside of building for yourself, I suppose. But yeah, no, it is worth mentioning that Doom Eternal ran fine on that original 4770K. So there's definitely not any kind of a processor bottleneck for Doom Eternal. Whereas I think that there is for Cyberpunk. I really do think that just improving the cooler would help a lot. Like, just getting a more robust, even just a more robust air cooler, to say nothing of like a liquid cooling AIO thing. Which, like, just on its face concerns me so much. The idea of putting liquid into a computer just, like, seems... Like, I know that plenty of people do it. I know that it is, like, the superior way of doing things. But I'm afraid that I personally would screw it up. And just knowing that there's liquid sloshing around in the system just kind of freaks me out. I do need to keep a little bit of an eye on my, that's right, it's The middle mouse, not Q. Because Q is the grenade launcher. Or the equipment launcher, I suppose. I'm not gonna fucking die here. I've already done that once. I want to prove that this is a game that I like, that I'm actually halfway decent at. And the good news is... just throw it onto its back like a turtle. The good news is I'm fairly certain that, yeah, the sacred grenades cannot hurt you, which is a distinct difference from the rocket launcher. Goodness me, I'm such an enormous fan of this game. Oh. And it's such like a refinement and an expansion on Doom 2016's foundation. You know, because, like, Doom 2016 still kind of whips. Like, it's still really good. Like, in a vacuum, as its own experience, Doom 2016, rock solid. And yet, Doom Eternal knocks it out of the park. Keep wanting to dash. I keep hammering that shift key, expecting it's gonna do something for me. I've had a single view in this stream, and that's okay. I can live with that. Can't exactly reach out to a bunch of people. It is Valentine's Day after all. Though Brittany and I have taken Valentine's Day quite easy this go round. In fairness, we are getting married in 2 weeks, so you know. So little exchange of cards, little exchange of gifts. Nothing huge, but you know, sentimental. The Cacademon's little arms, I think, are very funny. I mean, I'd reach out to Born Loser, be like, "Hey, I'm streaming," but as far as I know, he's still recovering from a horrific tooth infection. I don't necessarily want to disturb him with my internet neediness. The thing that I'm really after is the flame belch. That is such a game-changing mechanic. The ability to generate your own armor as like a tactical decision. Because in Doom 2016, there was that one rune that you got that just let you, like, every time you got a glory kill, you got a little bit of extra armor as well. And that's, like, you're going to be doing glory kills anyway. So that's just, like, pure gravy. Attaching it to the flamethrower, on the other hand, makes it much more of a, you know, much more of a thinking man's decision, I guess you'd say. I reckon we can, you know, at least get through this first level. I think that the first level is like 45-ish minutes long, and then next one, we'll get at least partially into the next one, because I think Exaltia is really, has some really beautifully designed levels in it.
Because it takes a lot of hard work to make a prophecy.
Oh, it's also worth mentioning that the way that they retooled the what do you call it? The chainsaw is also absolutely brilliant. Because what they were able to do is knock the knock your ammo capacity way down. And make the chainsaw, at least against, like, low-level demons, this respawning resource. Oh, damn it, I completely missed that shot. Oh, and also not insta-killing you for falling down pits is another really good piece of design. I love how the zombies look a lot more like the original game zombies. Like Doom of 19... Oh, beans. 1995 or whenever it came out. The original Doom was, it might have come out before I was born. Honestly. Here we go. Alright, you bastard. I think you're so fucking clever now. Ooh! See, that is unfortunate. Give me that health, please. Sheesh. Oh, it's also worth mentioning that the Doom Eternal soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal, and it is such a shame that you know, whatever fuckery went on between Bethesda or ZeniMax and Mick Gordon, because my God, he did such a good job with these soundtracks. Actually, speaking of Bethesda, I've always felt like if there was going to be like some kind of like from the ground up remaster of Oblivion, Doom is a great place to like get inspiration for the Oblivion Gates and the Plains of Oblivion, because like it's serving, you know, if I'm using that turn of phrase correctly.
The Con Maker is present at this gathering, but when outside of her domain, she is by all accounts indestructible.
Get a confrontation with the Hell Priest, which I'm going to skip over because level over. Alright, so we should be able to actually get a decent chunk of the first Exaltia level done with, I think.
I do not have the means to locate the second Hell Priest. Our celestial locator is missing a component. We will need a replacement. I've completed the redesign of your equipment launcher. The flame belt is now
Yeah.
for approval.
Flame Belch. We love the Flame Belch. Flame Belch is awesome. I was afraid I wouldn't get it until next level. But yeah, no, we've got the Flame Belch. And then we'll get, soon enough, we'll get the dash on Exaltia. What do we want to do? Quick Draw Belch. More armor, more health. Let's do more armor. What we definitely want is the Quick Draw Belch, because more Flame Belch is always good in my book.
The portal is activated and ready when you are.
Can we also take a moment to acknowledge just how phenomenally well optimized this game is? I mentioned this earlier, but like when I got this in 2016, or no, 2020, it was running on hardware that was 6 or 7 years old at that point, and it was still doing just fine. This, you know, on medium settings, but even on medium, it still looked fine. I'm sure I can actually, let's see here, video, let's see here, Ultra Nightmare, texture pool size. I don't know why that was set to high and not Ultra Nightmare, but like, you set it to medium. Apply changes. You know, maybe textures are a little bit muddier now, but like, it still paints a pretty striking picture, don't you think? Yeah, hell, I'll play through a little bit of it at medium settings, and you know, you'll kind of get the fact that, like, still looks fine, dog. I mean, I say the textures look muddier. They don't even look muddier, really. Textures look fine. Everything looks fine. And it's one of those things where, like, you fire up something like Far Cry 3, and you're like, dang. Turns out games have been looking like real good for a while. And so much of it is just you know, art direction, right? Like it's visual design more than anything else. Knock that down to ultra, why not? Hold on. Colorblind, custom. Do I have my... Oh. Now I've done gone and futzed around with it. Ray tracing. Yeah, ray tracing is on. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. Kind of shows the fact that there's not a huge difference between, you know, one graphical setting and another. I mean, if I can have ray tracing on, I will. But, you know. If it doesn't impact gameplay, I'm gonna, you know, I'm not gonna complain about having even, you know, diminishing returns better. Better graphical quality, obviously. Oh, the blood punch. I almost never use the fucking blood punch. You know, nice to have if you want to have it, I guess. Oh, sheesh. Poorly frickin' timed that. Is my thing ready? It is. Oh yeah, my runes perform glory kills faster. Wait a minute. Where? Yeah. Greatly increased movement control while in the air. This is like, that's the primo rune right there. Oh yeah, I can already see an improvement in terms of aerial mobility, I guess you would say. I really wish these dudes had, like, a weak spot, like some of the other demons do. I mean, as it turns out, their weakness is just, like, sustained fire. Which sounds a little bit like a joke, but it's not. Like, the recommended weapon to use against these guys is the chain gun. But failing that, I'll have to make do. What on earth did I hit? It cost me my frickin' armor, bro. Yeah, I wonder, like, how much of the space of a game like this is just taken up with, like, the super duper high res textures that are demanded by modern, like, you know, 4K level. Did I die? Oh my god. Because, like, I don't have 4K monitors. You know, I have a pair of 60 hertz, or, you know, 72 hertz, 1080p monitors. And that's always been fine for me. Hell, a moment ago I was talking about how, like, you know, if it... I'm willing to sacrifice visual fidelity in the name of gameplay, you know, smoothness. Because the less that I have to think about, like, oh yeah, this is a, you know, a piece of software running on hardware that has its limits somewhere. You know, the more immersive an experience it'll be. So, like, back in the day when I was running on my original rig, when I was playing Just Cause 3, I went so far as cranking down the resolution just so that I could have a smooth frame rate as possible. And I remember when I first got that frickin' machine. One of the first, like, kind of AAA high-demand games that I played on that was Saints Row 4, which I'd actually inflicted upon my poor old, like, circa 2010 MacBook. And of course it ran like doo-doo. Like it ran terribly. But it ran. You know, God bless it, it ran. But you know, Saints Row 4 is like a superhero sandbox. With a Saints Row 3 skin on it. Played quite a bit of... I might have actually played through all of Saints Row 3 on that poor computer. On that poor laptop. The poor thing. And you know, you've got epic hops in Saints Row 4. You can leap high into the air and soar across the city. And obviously, you know, my poor laptop was not going to like that. And so every time I jumped, you know, an enormous lag spike. And the poor thing, I was subjecting it to games that it was not really meant for. But in any event, you know, the first time I fired up Saints Row 4 on, you know, my new fancy schmancy PC. I don't know where I should go right there. Can I get onto the... Yes, I can. First time I fired it up on the new rig and jumped into the air without having any kind of, you know, limitation on my frame rate or whatever. It was breathtaking, because it was, you know, it was happening right there in front of me, you know, seamlessly without this massive immersion-breaking lag spike every time I, you know, came up from street level. It was a heck of a thing. Here's my dash. Speaking of movement abilities. Oh, it's the best thing ever. Oop. It's the best thing ever when I remember to use it correctly. Or give it time to refresh itself. Blah, blah, blah. Kid Nova, consider, etc. Now we gotta go back into hell. But not before playing an elaborate game of The Floor is Lava. Which is a ridiculous name for it, of course, because the floor is in fact electricity. Yeah. Blew his fanny away, didn't I? Hey, Mr. Zombie. Mr. Zombie Soldier, you are my unfortunate burn victim for today. Oh dear. Ooh. Getting a little hairy over here, guys. Gotta tighten up my focus, stop fucking rambling, and focus on the game. It does feel good to be back streaming, though, even though I was literally just gone for a day. You know, I like to keep up my my consistent streams. Even though today's not doing jack diddly for me. That is, in fact, fine. Again, it's not the individual streams.
This Sentinel battery can be used to provide additional power to your ship. Several modules remain unused. Finding more batteries will enable you to utilize the full functions of your command station.
I think referring to it as a ship is kind of underselling what it is that I have for myself. It's a flying space fortress, and I am 100% here for it. Yeah, not so cool without your rockets, are ya? My little buddy. Little butter boy. I was about to say, please get the glory kill. I just need the glory kill. I've got my frickin' thing is ready. Ooh, Jeebus Plebus. No, I got this, I just need to regroup for a moment. Keep moving. Hell consumes the intransigent. Which I swear is a quote that showed up on like a loading screen in the first, well, in the first modern Doom game in Doom 2016. But I can't seem to find any confirmation that I exist. So maybe I'm just imagining it. Oh, that's right. We got to go through the hentai tentacle tunnel. Oh, damn it. I'm gonna pop you open for some ammo, bud. Hope you don't mind. Because you're much better. My shotgun is much better for the frickin' tentacles than the frickin'... That actually scared me. I was prepared for it, and it still scared me. If I get killed by a goddamn tentacle, I am not gonna be happy. Occurs to me I didn't even go for the auto map in the previous level. Don't know why I didn't. But whatever. Oop. Come on, guys. Oh, don't make me go back. Can't even zip through it all quick like. Just gotta go trudging through like some sort of commoner. Let's see here. Microwave beam. What do we think? I typically go for the heat blast as my first plasma rifle upgrade, but I think I'll go for the microwave beam.
There is a Sentinel power core nearby. You can use it to activate the mech and clear the path forward.
Mm-hmm. I'm at least going to get us to, like, one of the big, like, drop your jaw on the floor moments of this game, the big Hell Vista, I guess you'd call it, which we shouldn't be too far away from. I can't imagine that we don't hit that in the next 20 minutes or so, if not much sooner. Y'all know me. I'm notoriously bad at determining how long it will take me to do things. I don't see why I don't go for this microwave thing more often. It kind of kicks ass. Okay, yeah. So the big Hell Vista is literally here. So we'll open up the big door, and then we'll call it an evening, I think. Just a little hour-long stream. You know, nothing super exciting. I actually used a thumbnail this time. I didn't just go for the generic YouTube some nice mountains thumbnail for whatever that's worth. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, I've enjoyed this. It's given me an opportunity to ramble more than I typically do, and Lord knows I enjoy playing Doom Eternal. But like, damn, dude. Look at that. That's crazy. Ugh. I love it. And look at the lovely reflections on my gun, courtesy of the technology of ray tracing, where we simulate the rays. Anywho, I think that's where I'm going to call it a night for right now. Folks, oh. It's actually hit escape there. Folks, thank you all very much for watching. Until next time, I am Ned Finn, and goodbye.